I think we're live, folks. Man, oh man, NXT. NXT was a good show, man. So we're gonna go over. I'm gonna go ahead and go over and give you the matches that we got on the card for tonight's NXT. So we had got Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong versus Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. And then we got Ashante Adonis versus Jake Atlas. We got Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory. And then we got Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae to determine the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship. And then we got Toni Storm versus Aliyah with Robert Stone ringside. And Imperium, Fabian Aichner versus Marcel Barthel versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. And then we got Damian Priest versus Dexter Lumis for the North American Championship. So that's all the matches that was on the card for tonight's NXT. The show was great. Show was okay. We're on in this review. In the meantime, folks, welcome to my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Of course, I'm Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brennan Ingram here with your October the 14th, 2020 NXT review this evening. So hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on that bell for notifications. Of course, to never miss my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown reviews that go live each and every week. Also, to never miss a single upload of my Ingram Wrestling News videos that I record, that I upload to YouTube, that I share on Twitter as well. Of course, speaking of Twitter, follow me on Twitter for the latest WWE, AEW, and Pro Wrestling News. Also, be sure you follow me on Twitch, because I am going to be live streaming on Twitch on Call of Duty sometime, because I officially have Call of Duty Black Ops Open Beta downloaded on the PS4. The Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Open Beta weekend will begin. It will begin soon this weekend. I can't wait. I told my #1 favorite podcaster in the IWC, JD, I tagged his name on Twitter, told him, I said, you know, I'm looking forward to us being on the same team on Call of Duty. But let me tell you what I really said. Actually, let me pull up the tweet and tell you what I really said. So I took to Twitter and told JD, I said, and I quote, just thought I'd let you know that I have Call of Duty Open Beta downloaded to the PS4. I hope I run into you sometime on this game when I get a hang of it. And I had a laugh my ass out emoji, two laughing emojis, and hopefully we both end up on the same team. So I told JD all that, and I told him, you know, and I'm really hoping that we both end up on the same team on Call of Duty Open Beta. I really do. Sometime, one day, I'm hoping. But like I said, let's go back to what I said about NXT. NXT was a good show tonight. There were a few mistakes on the show that I pointed out that I am going to say on my review. I did tweet out on Twitter about these mistakes. But other than that, folks, everything else on the show was decent and fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the review here. So, the opening segment. So, we seen stuff about the return of Ember Moon, Velveteen Dream, interrupting the match between Kushida and Vince Joseph informs us that Toni Storm returns tonight and says that two championship titles are on the line tonight, but they head to the first match. Man, oh man, this first match was freaking awesome, man. Man, oh man, I tell you, man, this first match was awesome. So, check this out. We got Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Undisputed Era. One of the best matches on this show. And I hope some of you all agree with me when I say this. This was not only one of the best matches on the show, but one of the greatest matches, tag team matches on the show as well. But there were other few matches that were the best matches on the show too, besides this one now. Don't get me wrong. Even though we've seen this match before, I wanted to see it twice as nice. I didn't even give a shit. I was hoping they would book this match on the show anyway. I didn't even care. I wanted to see it. So I saw it. So let's go over what all happened with this match on the show. So O'Reilly gets on the mic before Burch and Lorcan comes out. By the way, he gets on the mic and cuts an amazing promo by saying that he is cleared to compete, but Cole is still injured. O'Reilly says that they didn't get a chance to take out Holland, but if they did, he would have ended up in the hospital. Then folks, O'Reilly says that they will find whoever compensated Holland, whoever paid Holland to injure Adam Cole, and make them pay. Then he says that tonight is the beginning of the second coming of the Golden Prophecy. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan come down to the ring and they stare down Undisputed Era. O'Reilly gets out of the ring and Lorcan and Strong start the match. They lock up and Strong takes Lorcan to the mat. But Lorcan gets to his feet and hits an arm drag into a head scissors. But Strong escapes. Strong gets in a headlock and he hits a series of shoulder tackles. Lorcan takes down Strong again into a head scissors lock again, but Strong is able to escape. Lorcan bars the arm, then tags in Burch and Lorcan shop Strong. Burch hits arm breakers on Strong, but Strong is able to get to Fish to make the tag. Fish goes after Burch's arm, but Fish hits Burch with strikes to the mix session. He goes for a senton over the top rope, but Burch dodges and kicks Fish in the head. Burch hits Fish with two uppercuts, then an arm breaker. He forces Fish to the mat and works Fish's left arm. Burch tags in Lorcan and they hit a double Russian leg sweep. Strong comes in and tries to interrupt the offense, but Lorcan and Burch suplex him onto Fish and Strong. Rolling out of the ring, Lorcan bars Fish's arm, but Fish fights to his feet Lorcan hits an arm breaker and gets right back into the arm breaker. Fish and Lorcan trade elbow strikes, and Lorcan hits a snapmare into a submission. Fish fights to his feet again and reaches strong for the tag. Lorcan fights off both men with chops and runs the ropes, but Fish and Strong hit a double back body drop on Lorcan. Breezango seen watching the match live in the arena as they go to commercial break. Folks, give me 20 to 30 minutes. I gotta do my thumbnail real quick, and I gotta upload it to my live stream that I'm doing right now. So take a few minutes to listen to this nice, amazing song done by Friedrich Hybrid. So take your 20 and 30 minutes to listen to this amazing, cool Jaren theme. And it's actually going to go off, and I'm actually ready to play something else. YouTube, and then, you know the rest. So give me 20, 30 minutes, and I will continue, and then I will continue to read what happened with the other match, and then continue so on with the NXT review. Take your 30, 20 minutes to listen to this amazing song while I'm working on my thumbnail here. And then, again, I'm going to repeat myself for the second time. Then again, after that, I'm going to read to y'all the rest of what happened with this match. What, tonight on NXT. And then you know the rest. folks. It's been 30 minutes now. I've done what I had to do to my thumbnail, and I done uploaded my thumbnail. So when you click on my NXT review, the thumbnail should pop up. When you go to my YouTube channel, the thumbnail should also pop up, and you should see the video where it says WWE NXT October 14, 2020 NXT review. So you should see it where it says WWE NXT October 14, 2020 review. So when they came back from commercial break, Fish was in control of Lorcan. Fish tags in Strong. Lorcan is able to fight off Strong and Fish. But Strong, Burch attacks Strong and tosses him into Fish. Fish rolls out of the ring and Burch tosses Strong into the ropes. Then hits a pop-up powerbomb. Strong is able to hit a back elbow drop on Burch, dazing him. Fish tags in and hits a Samoan drop on Burch, covering him for 2. So then Fish tags in Strong, and they go for a tag team move, but Burch escapes and he hits a double drop kick on Strong. Fish Lorcan hits a double blockbuster on Fish and Strong. Lorcan tags in Burch back in. He tags Burch back in, and they go for a move on Strong. Fish breaks it up. Lorcan tackles Fish to the outside in the ring. Burch hits Strong with a headbutt. Then, once he hit him with a headbutt, he then hits him with a... What was it? No. He hits him with a headbutt and turns him inside out with a clothesline. Lorcan tags in and they hit the elevated DDT. Lorcan covers Strong, but Fish pulls Lorcan's leg, pulling him off Strong. Fish gets in the ring and Burch gets on the apron. Fish pushes Lorcan into Burch, knocking him off the apron. So Lorcan turns around into a leaping knee from Strong. Strong covers Lorcan for the win. So the Undisputed Era wins this match, and they are the #1 contenders for Breezango's NXT Tag Team Champions. So Undisputed Era stare down Breezango from inside the ring, and Burch and Lorcan look frustrated at ringside. So backstage, we get an update on Finn Balor. We hear that he underwent surgery for a broken jaw. Ringo says that we will see how Finn recovers post-surgery and keep an eye on the situation for a few weeks before deciding on what to do with the NXT Championship. So it says we'll be hearing from Ember Moon next, right after a commercial break. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to what I read about this tag team match. This amazing classic tag team match. So gotta clear my throat sometimes. So this tag team match, man, oh man. This fucking tag team match between the Undisputed Era and Oney Lorcan was fucking great, man. This was a fantastic match between Undisputed Era and Britt Ain Connection. Britt Ain Connections, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Undisputed Era got a good win, of course, over Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Now Breezango will have to defend their titles against the Undisputed Era on next Wednesday's episode of NXT. Man, oh man, this really was a hard-hitting match, man. One of the best matches on the show, man. Believe it or not. One of the best matches on the show. So now, let's turn our attention back to the Ember Moon interview. So when it comes back from commercial break, Ember Moon, they have a sit down with Ember Moon. She talks about how she chose to go back to NXT instead of going to the draft because she wanted to be a part of the best women's division. At least she knows that the Raw and SmackDown women's division is a complete disaster right now, and I think that's what she's saying. And I hope that's what she's saying, because that's what it sounds like she's saying. And I am glad she got the fuck out of there. I'm glad she got the fuck out of SmackDown and Raw. Man, oh man, women's division down there on both brands are a fucking complete disaster. Especially with all the roster changes now. I mean, look at the SmackDown and Raw women's roster now, man. I mean, oh my god. If that doesn't anger you, then I don't know what does. And just look at the tag team division, man. There is barely no tag teams on SmackDown now, man. But anyways, Ember Moon talks about how she chose to go back to NXT instead of going to the draft because she wanted to be a part of the best women's division. She said that she left NXT on top, but it's a whole different game these days. It's a whole different game these days. And she needs to prove herself again to get another title shot. So, we got Ashante Adonis versus Jake Atlas. This match was the match that I tweeted out on Twitter and said didn't make sense. And I'm going to explain why at the end. So here's what happened with this match. Jake Atlas and Adonis lock up. Of course, let me remind you that this was a one-on-one squash match. But Adonis pushes Atlas into the ropes. Atlas comes back and goes for a body drop. You know, those back body drops that some of the superstars use in the ring. Some of the superstars are known for using that maneuver in the ring. Anyways. But Adonis rolls into a sunset flip. Adonis dodges a standing moonsault and taunts Atlas. So then Atlas hits Adonis with a drop kick. Jake Atlas runs at him in the corner. Adonis moves out of the way and hits Adonis, where he hits Atlas with a drop kick. So then Adonis pins Atlas for 2. Atlas and Adonis trade blows, while Atlas and Adonis brawl. Rayo Mendoza and Joaquin Wild all of a sudden comes down the ramp. Mendoza and Wild call out to Adonis. Adonis shouts back at them, but Atlas uses the distraction to roll up Adonis into an inside cradle, picking up the win. So Jake Atlas basically won, all thanks to Mendoza and Wild. So Mendoza and Wild pull Adonis out the ring and jump him. Atlas hits a dive onto Mendoza and Wild. And Adonis and Atlas regroup in the ring. Santos Escobar comes out, and all 3 members of Legado del Fantasma come down to the ring. Suddenly 2 chairs slide into the ring behind Atlas and Adonis. Isaiah Swerve Scott gets into the ring with a chair of his own, with 3 cruiserweights in the ring equipped with chairs. Legado del Fantasma retreats. So I don't know why the fuck we got a Ashante Adonis versus Jake Atlas. Not to mention, WWE folks didn't even announce this match for tonight's NXT. Not to mention, they're both baby faces. Why would you book a face versus a face? Why would you book a face versus a face in a quote-unquote squash match? This absolutely made no sense to me whatsoever. But wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute now. Let me get this straight here. So, you mean to tell me Isaiah Swerve gets into the ring with a chair of his own, with 3 cruiserweights in the ring equipped with chairs. Legado del Fantasma then retreats. So, folks, this is what I assumed. This is what I tweeted out and said. This is what I assumed. I assumed a 6-man tag match will be booked for next Wednesday's NXT. That is what I assumed. That's what I assumed. So, this match made no sense whatsoever. I don't want to see a squash match like this booked on the show ever again. Anyways, moving on. So, backstage, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano are interviewed. They're interviewed about tonight. Candice is asked about if she is nervous about her match to determine the #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship against Shotzi Blackheart. But Candice says that she is the uncrowned Women's Champion as she won the match at TakeOver. She says, check this out. She says that Johnny Gargano won his match too, and Johnny takes over, talking about how Dexter Lumis doesn't deserve a NXT North American Championship match. The interviewer asked him if he is looking past Austin Theory, but Gargano just insults Theory and walks off. Gargano and Theory go one-on-one after a commercial break. So, back from commercial break, Austin Theory is already in the ring, waiting for Johnny Gargano to come out. I just thought that was funny how Johnny Gargano assaulted him, and then all of a sudden Austin Theory's already in the ring. Austin Theory must have really taken that insult very seriously. He must have really taken that insult seriously and got in the ring. It must have been angry in the inside. I mean, can you blame him? Johnny Gargano didn't even look like he assaulted him. I mean, Johnny Gargano looked like he didn't even say anything. How could you say someone assaults someone when the person didn't even say anything? All they did was walked off. I mean, I didn't get that. I really didn't. I didn't get that. I really didn't understand that. I didn't understand that. I didn't. Anyways, here's what happened with this Austin Theory versus Johnny Gargano one-on-one singles match. And this was a good one. This was a good one. Gargano picks Theory's toe and goes for an ankle lock early on. Theory tries to escape, but Gargano gets Theory into a front face lock. Gargano transitions into a hammer lock, but Theory escapes and transitions into a headlock. Gargano forces Theory off. Theory runs the ropes. And then when he runs the ropes, Gargano takes Theory on with an arm drag, a drop kick, and a chop. Gargano whips Theory into the corner, then hits a chop and another arm drag on Theory. taking him down to the mat. Gargano rolls Theory to the mat. It goes for the Gargano escape, but Theory reaches the bottom rope before he can lock it in. Theory gets to his feet and nails Gargano with an elbow. Theory takes Gargano down with a clothesline and hits a standing moonsault on Gargano, covering him for 2. Gargano fights back, but Theory tosses him face first into the corner. Gargano gets the advantage back and drives his shoulder into Theory's midsection. Theory hits a dropkick toehold on Gargano, sending him face first into the bottom rope. Before he can lock it in. Theory gets to his feet and nails Gargano with an elbow. Theory takes Gargano down with a clothesline. He hits a standing moonsault on Gargano, covering him for 2. Gargano fights back, but Theory tosses him face first into the corner. Gargano gets the advantage back and drives his shoulder into Theory's midsection. Theory hits a drop toe hold on Gargano, sending him face first into the bottom rope. Then Theory hits a rolling thunder drop kick. Theory picks up Gargano and punches him in the face. They trade blows, but Theory gets the upper hand. Theory picks up Gargano and goes for the ATL, but Gargano escapes to the apron. Gargano hits the slingshot spear, and we go to commercial break. Folks, the chat is open. If you want to chat and comment, go ahead. Go right ahead. You can go ahead and chat and comment while I'm reading to you what all happened with this match between Theory and Johnny Gargano. So anyways, back to what I was reading about this match. So, back from commercial, Gargano has Theory in an abdominal stretch. Theory powers out, but Gargano drops him into the middle rope. Gargano runs the ropes, but Theory gets up and picks up Gargano, dropping him on his face. So then Theory drops Gargano, hits a double foot stomp on Gargano, and follows it up with a suplex. Theory picks up Gargano and goes for another suplex. Gargano blocks. Theory goes for another rolling thunder move, but Gargano tries to catch Theory with a kick. Theory blocks and pushes Gargano away. Gargano goes for a rolling thunder move of Theory's own. Again, Gargano goes for a rolling thunder move of Theory's own, but Theory catches Gargano with a super kick, covering Gargano for 2. Theory smack talks Gargano, then nails him with a super kick. Theory picks up Gargano for the ATL, but Gargano escapes. Gargano hits a crossbody from the middle rope. It was a diving crossbody, but Theory rolls through. Theory rolls through. Theory goes for the ATL, but Gargano escapes. Theory catches him in a roll-up for 2 again. Theory chops at Gargano in the corner. Theory takes time to taunt, giving Gargano the opportunity to get back in the match. They trade blows. Theory goes for a super kick, but Gargano blocks and hits a super kick of his own. Gargano catches Theory and hits a long dirt into the middle rope. Gargano hits a running forearm smash to the back of Theory's head. Gargano gets into the apron and hits the one final beat DDT on Theory. Gargano pins Theory for 3. So, after the match, Gargano rolls out of the ring and starts to walk away, but he looks back at Theory in the ring with a lot of respect. Then he continues his walk to the back. Man, oh man, folks, this match was fucking great, man. This match between Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory was a great NXT TV match. This was a great normal match. This was an absolute brilliant, great matchup. But why book a heel versus a heel? I mean, this absolutely made no sense. Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano were both Evolve superstars. Both former Evolve champions. But they're also both heels. But anyways, folks, good win for Johnny Gargano. Still a good match between the two. The two put on their best performance in the ring. And that's what that's what matters, man. That's what matters in this match. That's what mattered in this match, man. And Johnny Gargano looked at Austin Theory. I love how he looked at Austin Theory and had the respect for him. You know, had the respect for Austin Theory for giving Johnny Gargano the best performance of a lifetime in that ring. They both did really good, man. I was impressed. What does this do for Johnny Gargano going forward? I don't know. Anyways. So Raquel Gonzalez is backstage running down Rhea Ripley. She challenges Ripley to a match at Halloween Havoc. Ripley suddenly appears across the hall and they start to run at each other. But backstage personnel keep them apart. So here is what I assume. Now obviously this Gonzalez and Ripley feud is continuing. But anyways, here's what I assume, folks. This is what I assume. I assume that we are getting Ripley versus Gonzalez for NXT Halloween Havoc. That's why I assume. If they make this match official, then that means I am right. If they make this match official for a Halloween Havoc. And they might put it in the kickoff show. Kickoff Halloween Havoc show. Or they might put this match to begin the show. I don't know. But I'll be right if this match is made official. Anyways. So, NXT Women's Championship. And it goes to commercial. Back for commercial, Tommaso Ciampa is backstage watching the fallout of his match last week with Kushida and Velveteen Dream's involvement. Question that. I have to question WWE here about Tommaso Ciampa. Now, my question to WWE is, WWE, what exactly are you doing with Tommaso Ciampa? I mean, I don't understand. Shouldn't you be calling him up to the main roster? I mean, what are you doing with him? I don't understand. Has his feud with Kushida ended? Or is it? Because I don't understand what they're doing with Tommaso Ciampa. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't freaking get it, man. You know what? It's almost like Bruce and Vince McMahon doesn't even care about what NXT's doing with Tommaso Ciampa. You know? On TV. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I wish the best for Ciampa. I hope NXT uses him right on TV. Because I feel like they're not right now. I feel like he's just getting put in a feud that he's not being put over. I mean, good to turn him heel, but why so early? Why turn Tommaso Ciampa heel so early, though? That I questioned that too when they turned Tommaso Ciampa heel last month. I think it was last month. I questioned that as well. That decision by WWE. Gotta be the work of Vince McMahon and Bruce turning him heel. Had to be. And it had to be the work of Vince and Bruce putting Tommaso Ciampa in the middle of the Kushida and Velveteen Dream feud. Oh, I cannot stand these two, man. I really can't. Cannot stand Bruce and Vince. See, this is one of the reasons why Bruce needs to get fired. He doesn't know what he's doing as executive director, man. He doesn't know what he's doing with these Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows that have been absolutely terrible, that have been an absolute disaster each and every Monday and Friday nights. I mean, come on, man. That's why I'm glad Triple H is giving us what we want to see. I'm glad Triple H is giving us the NXT we want to see. The NXT that's always been so great. Anyways, I am moving on. So here's what happened in this match between Shotzi Blackheart and Candice LeRae to determine number one contender for NXT Women's Championship. So LeRae and Shotzi lock up, and LeRae gets a wrist lock in. She transitions into a race lock, but Shotzi fits out, hitting a series of arm drags. Shotzi takes LeRae down with a enziguri. Candice goes for a neck breaker, but Shotzi blocks. Shotzi goes to the outside, and Candice runs the ropes, but she stops herself from jumping. Opting to slide out of the ring, Shotzi gets in the ring and hits a dive on LeRae, then rolls her back into the ring, pinning her for a 2. Now, Candice hits a jawbreaker on Shotzi, but Shotzi hits Candice with a knee to the face and pins her for 2. Candice drops LeRae. No, not LeRae. Oops, I got that wrong. Candice drops Blackheart face first into the corner and kicks away at her. Candice hits a running splash on Shotzi, then takes her down with a snapmare, pinning Shotzi for 2. Oh my Candice! Candice goes for after Shotzi's left arm. Candice nails Shotzi's midsection and transitions into a headlock. Candice releases the hold and hits a suplex on Shotzi, then pins her for 2. Candice drags Shotzi's face across the ropes. Shotzi tries to fight out of the corner, but Candice tosses her across the ring. Candice pulls Shotzi to the midsection of the ring and covers her for 2. Shotzi gets to her feet, but Candice tries to go for another suplex. Shotzi blocks and hits a suplex of her own. So then Shotzi runs at Candice in the corner, but LeRae gets a boot up. Both women get the apron. Shotzi looks like she is going for a sliced bread 2 onto the apron. Candice pushes her face first into the ring post. Candice hits a reverse sling blade, sending Shotzi face first into the apron. We go to commercial break. So back for commercial break. Candice runs at Shotzi in the corner. Shotzi evades and hits Candice with a drop kick and sling blade. Shotzi hits a discus forearm, then the switchblade kick, hanging up Candice on the middle rope. Shotzi hits Candice with a senton on the middle rope, then pins Candice for 2. Shotzi drags Candice to the corner and goes for a senton from the top rope, but Candice gets her knees up. Candice pins Shotzi for the 2. Candice goes to the top rope, but Shotzi blocks her. Shotzi climbs to the middle rope, but Candice slips and she slips out from underneath Shotzi, and Candice hits a German suplex on Shotzi, followed by a super kick, pinning her for 2. Back to their feet, Candice goes for a super kick again, but Shotzi blocks it. Shotzi hits a German suplex, bridging into a pin for 2. Candice hits a backstabber and a moonsault onto Shotzi, covering her for 2. Shotzi rolls up Candice for 2. Shotzi gets Candice in a strange upper body submission, but Candice reaches the bottom rope and forces a break. Candice tosses Shotzi to the apron, but Shotzi hits Candice with a kick. Shotzi goes to the top rope and Candice gives chase. Shotzi pushes Candice off the ropes and hits a thrust press from the top. Shotzi goes to the top and goes for the senton again, but Candice rolls out of the ring before Shotzi can hit anything, and the Hartwell is at ringside, and she hands Candice breast knuckles. Candice hits Shotzi with the breast knuckles, then pins her for 3. So that is that, folks. And man, oh man, I gotta tell you, the one-on-one singles match between Candice LeRae and Shotzi Blackheart was a great, great match. And a smart plan by Candice LeRae. So let me tell you once again what happened at the end of this match. So Indy was at ringside. She handed Candice the breast knuckles. And she handed breast knuckles to Candice. So Candice hits Shotzi with those knuckles, then pins her for 3. Now, folks, the Garganos have always been good at what they do in the ring. Both their heel and babyface characters, their in-ring work, wrestling skills, and promos have all been an example of why they are indeed good. Now, so last month and this month, there were some news on the Garganos possibly getting called up to the main roster. Now, when I heard this, I questioned this and I said, when? When are they getting called up to the main roster? Because they haven't got called up yet. They didn't get called up after the draft or before the draft. So, when are we going to see them on the main roster? When are we going to see them on the main roster? When? I don't know, man. I haven't got any news so far. I haven't got any news, any information, or any date as to when they are going to make their main roster debut. I haven't got anything from any of my sources and my other sources around the community. I haven't got anything. So I guess we'll never know when Candice LeRae is being called up. Well, we don't ever know when Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, the Gargano couple, is being called up to the main roster. It's almost like WWE has forgot about the Garganos. Has forgot about the news about the Garganos. This news was put out by Ringside News. This news was also put out by other sources as well about them being called to the main roster. There was even news that Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae was talking WWE main roster dream matches and chances of being drafted. Now, the news on the Garganos being called up to the main roster 2 weeks ago, this news on Candice LeRae talking possible main roster call-up was put out by Ringside News. And, as a matter of fact, let's get to that because I want y'all to know this. So, while speaking to the Daily DDT, This was 2 weeks ago. Candice LeRae said she's unaware of any plans in the works for her. Now, she said she loved NXT and the environment there. She's obviously not going to turn down a WWE main roster opportunity, and she will continue to consider it as unreal until it happens. So this is what Candice LeRae said. She said, and I quote, "I feel like there is a lot of things that happen around me that I almost make myself ignorant to just because I never want to get my hopes up. I never want to assume something. Even going into the Battle Royal, I didn't want to assume that I can be the person to win because because you don't know. You just don't know. I can honestly tell you that the Royal Rumbles that I've done, and the WrestleMania that I was a part of, it wasn't real until I was in it. I'm so thankful that there were people that reminded me that was a thing that was happening, and to tell me to take a second to take it all in, because it happens so fast. It's like a wedding day. It goes by. Happiness, and then you're like, oh wait. It goes by and it happens, and then you're like, oh wait, that really did happen. If something is in the works, then I'm not aware of it. But nothing's real until it is. I'm very blessed, but I love NXT. I really love the environment, and for me, so much of it is feeling a certain way when you're wrestling as a fan, and there's something about NXT for me that feels like home, and I feel like I belong in NXT. It makes me so happy, and I always feel like the talent there pushed me to be my best, because no matter how long I've been doing this, I'm always trying to get better. I'm never going to be perfect. I always want to be better. I feel like NXT forces me to do that. It forces me to be at my absolute best at all times, and I love that. I love feeling that anybody can take my spot at any moment, and that I have to just go. I love wrestling, so as long as I don't have to stop wrestling, I'm fine anywhere. But I just love NXT so much, I can't stress enough. So this is what she spoke with Daily DDT and said. That's what all she said. So Vince McMahon doesn't let superstars know about any draft plans, so he can generate an organic reaction. You know that. You already know that. And by then, and at that time, the company was working on the lineup for that 2-day event, man. Draft's over, and we haven't seen Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae being called up to the main roster. It's almost like WWE's forgot about Garganos. It's almost like they forgot about Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano. This news was put out 2 weeks ago. This news about Candice LeRae talking possible main roster call. 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, we don't hear nothing back as to whether this is true or not. We'll never know if this is true or not. It only said they're possibly being called up to main roster. Okay, we need more info. We need the truth. Yes or no? Are they being called up to main roster, WWE? Yes or no? You need to tell us. Because if you don't tell any of us, if you don't tell the wrestling community anything, then they won't know. If you don't tell the podcasters anything, they won't know. That's just like Chelsea Green. We don't even know she's being called up to the main roster. Oh, where is Chelsea Green? Speaking of Chelsea Green, oh, that's right. She's recovered from the coronavirus. That's the only information we haven't heard, and haven't heard nothing since then. If that doesn't tell you that WWE is clueless and really stupid, then I don't know what does. Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano. If I was y'all, I wouldn't think about the main roster right now. Monday Night Raw and the SmackDown men's and women's divisions are looking like disaster right now. Are looking like a complete disaster. And they think drafting these superstars to different brands was going to fix the SmackDown and Monday Night Raw roster? You gotta be freaking joking, Bruce. You gotta be freaking joking, Bruce. What a fucking joke, man. You got to be really kidding me. If you think this draft was going to fix the roster and fix the problems that the current shows are suffering right now. Folks, ever since after this draft, ever since the draft ended, man, I've been thinking, what if next year the shows get a lot better? What if? They probably won't now. I mean, the draft's over. There's nothing we can do about it. But I did question about the NXT draft. NXT draft. Yeah. Whatever happened to the NXT draft? Why wasn't there no NXT draft? I questioned that for a second. I really, really, really took time to question this for a second. Now, we got an idea. It's almost like they're playing games. It's almost like they were playing games. It's almost like WWE's playing games. Playing mind games, man. During Wrestling Observer Radio that time, Brian Alvarez brought up how they, since MVP's promo and the official announcement considering the rules for this year's draft, NXT was taken out of the discussions. Oh, that's a bunch of. But the point is, the plans were to initially include NXT in the draft picks. Now, my sources, my good old friends on Twitter, Ringside News, had an exclusive report of one superstar who was likely making her debut. Now that seems doubtful. Now that was doubtful and not impossible. And I think that superstar that was likely making her debut, I think, was either Chelsea Green or Vanessa Bourne. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, speaking of Vanessa Bourne, what the heck? What's happening with her? What are they doing with her? What's WWE doing with her? Is she being called up to the main roster anytime soon? I mean, Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne should have been called up to the main roster by now. I mean, it's almost like WWE has forgotten about both of them. Speaking of forgotten, WWE is forgotten about the Forgotten Sons. Steve Cutler did say when they were coming back. I think there was news on that. Let me check that real quick before I get back to the review. So let me check on that, see if there was news on that. Yes, there was news on Steve Cutler saying when the Forgotten Sons will return to WWE television. This was yesterday. Alright, so this was yesterday. So check this out. So the Forgotten Sons had about a month on the main roster before Jason Riker sent out that pro-Trump tweet during the height of Black Lives Matter protests, of course. He got backlash after that tweet for that. So they were pulled from WWE television, and a SmackDown Tag Team title run was mixed. Now they are sitting at home. Jason Ryker's name no longer appears on the roster sheet. I just wonder, what if the Forgotten Sons make their return back to NXT? What if they were sent back to NXT? What if? I questioned that for a minute. What if they go back to NXT? They might as well go back to NXT, man. Given how the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Tag Team divisions look right now, oh my God, they look like a complete disaster right now. I guarantee you, when the Forgotten Sons make their return, WWE is going to put them at the bottom of the barrel, and I really hope that does not happen. I really hope that's not the case, and it's looking like the case. And they're probably going to put Jason Ryker at the bottom of the barrel and punish him for that pro-Trump tweet when he comes back. I guarantee you. They're going to punish him over that pro-Trump tweet. And that's why he's not on TV right now. That explains why he's not on TV right now. I guess he's on punishment. Basically. But folks, they're sitting at home. Jason Ryker's name no longer appeared on the roster sheet. Steve Collar and Wesley Blake were also nowhere to be seen, folks. While speaking to the Bomb to Battle podcast, Steve Collar was asked when the Forgotten Sons will be back on television. He said he's all about being patient because he has no idea when their time is coming again. Heck, who knows when their time's coming again? Baddest the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown roster is, man. Given how Vince McMahon forgets about stuff, given how he talks like a dog, and Bruce, he's just he's a fucking clown. Yeah. Given how WWE is known for forgetting about superstars, we probably never know when the Forgotten Sons will return. I know one thing, they should be staying on SmackDown because the SmackDown Tag Team Division, it's looking like no Tag Team Division. It still looks like no Tag Team Division. SmackDown Tag Team Division still looks dead. Monday Night Raw Tag Team Division still looks dead too. And oh man, oh man. I wish they would have had an NXT draft during the first and second night of the draft. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why that discussion went out the window about an NXT draft. I don't understand. Why? Why was this discussion out the window? I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Unfucking real, man. Anyways, I am going back to the NXT review, folks. Alright, back to the NXT review. So, as I was saying about Candice LeRae, Shotzi, Blackheart, after Candice LeRae's win, Candice hands the brace knuckles back to Indy on the outside as she heads up to the ramp and celebrates. Oh God. The team of Drake Maverick and Killian Dain are backstage. More like the terrible team of Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. Oh my God. You know what Drake Maverick and Killian Dain reminds me of? You know who they remind me of? Drake Maverick reminds me of SpongeBob, and Killian Dain reminds me of Patrick. I mean, because that's exactly what they remind me of. I mean, seriously. Oh, you know who else Drake Maverick and Killian Dain reminds me of as a team? They remind me of the Mario and Luigi brothers. Oh, man. I just had to be funny there, man. Oh, man, I know I was wrong for that. How about this? The price is wrong, bitch. How about that one? Anyways, Maverick is trying to show Dain some new team logos. and potential team names. Maverick mentions that they have a match with Imperium tonight, and Dain storms off upset. We get a video package for Toni Storm, and we are told that she's in action right after a commercial break. I don't know why the fuck they are pairing Drake Maverick up. And wait a minute. Stop that right there. I know exactly why they are pairing Drake Maverick and Killian Dain up. Because they currently have no plans for both of them. So they just lazily just paired them up together and aren't even telling us. WWE aren't even telling us why they are pairing Drake Maverick up with Killian Dain. Oh, because they need a new tag team on NXT? Oh, because Enda Sheer can't come to the U.S. due to the pandemic? Is that what it is? That's what it seems like. And what's going on with the Enda Sheer? Where are they? Probably in their Indian country, because they can't come to the U.S. I mean, the pandemic. I mean, look at all this pandemic that's going on. I mean, that's probably why we haven't seen Enda Sheer in probably like 2-3 months. Oh my God. If Enda Sheer comes back, the NXT Tag Team Division, you might as well say it's going to be a fucking disaster. Especially with Drake Maverick and Killian Dain teaming up together. Oh my God. This divisions, these divisions, man, I'm telling you. WWE needs to better these divisions too, man. Merge the freaking SmackDown and Raw women's divisions and merge the SmackDown and Raw men's tag team divisions. WWE. I see you're still not doing that. Guess I have to keep reminding you until you do it. Guess JD will have to keep reminding you too until you freaking do it. Anyways. So, back from a commercial break, Robert Stone is in the ring with Aliyah. Stone is on the mic talking about how unfortunate it is that no one wants to connect with the Robert Stone brand. Probably because you guys fucking suck. I mean, let's be honest. That's the truth. You guys do fucking suck. I mean, in real life, Aliyah doesn't suck. I mean, she rides... She always has that video of her riding on her horse. Man, I bet you it's cold there in Canada where she's at. Probably hot there in Canada, actually, where she's at. Given how Canada is way different than the U.S. and other countries. I mean, Canada's USA too. I mean, don't get me wrong, but just saying. I'll be seeing her photos on Instagram and on Facebook. I mean, Robert Stone has Aliyah. Why do you need someone else as a member of the Robert Stone brand? You know what? I think I know what's gonna happen. I think Vanessa Bourne is gonna return to join the Robert Stone brand. I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think Vanessa Bourne's being called up to the main roster. I think there are plans for either Vanessa Bourne to return to NXT to join the Robert Stone brand, or there could be plans for not only Vanessa Bourne, but also for Chelsea Green. So there could be plans for both Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne to return to NXT to join the Robert Stone brand. That's got to be the plan. That's got to be the reasons why they're out, man. It's got to be. That's got to be another reason why they're both out. Why they're both haven't been on TV. WWE must have that plan. Somehow. Oh my God. They must have that plan. I'm telling you. But the plan was for Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne to be called up to the main roster, and they never were. Their names haven't been mentioned or none. Chelsea Green just recovered from a coronavirus recently. You know, she recovered from testing positive for the COVID-19. And I'm glad, thank God, that Chelsea Green recovered from the virus. I know her husband would be upset and mad if she didn't recover from the virus. Had her not recovered, her husband would have been mad and angry. He would have been mad and sad. Anyways. So we got Aliyah versus Toni Storm. So check this out. So here's what happened this match. So Aliyah slaps Storm, but Storm hits Aliyah with a chop and a drop kick, covering Aliyah for one. This was a squash match. This was a heel versus face. So Storm runs at Aliyah in the corner. Aliyah avoids and Storm crashes into the corner. Aliyah lays into her with strikes. Aliyah hits a swinging neckbreaker on Storm, covering Storm for two. Aliyah goes for a double underhook, but Storm fights out and takes down Aliyah with an arm drag, pinning her for two. Storm hits an inverted atomic. She hits an inverted atomic drop kick, a chop. Storm hits a German suplex on Aliyah, then hits a running clothesline onto Aliyah, followed by a Storm Zero, and Storm pins Aliyah for three. So, man, oh man. This was a good win for Toni Storm. This was a good squash match for Toni Storm. Great win by Toni Storm. Great video package from Toni Storm, by the way. But this was a good squash match for Toni Storm. Good squash match for Toni Storm, but not good for Aliyah. Easy win for Storm. Easy. Now, this match made more sense than the Jake Atlas. This match made more sense than Jake Atlas versus Adonis. Let me tell you why. Because Aliyah is a heel. Toni Storm is a face. A heel versus face squash match. A heel versus face one-on-one single squash match makes sense. Makes more sense than a face versus a face. Jake Atlas and Adonis are both baby faces. Why would you book a babyface versus a babyface? That's just like the match between, who was it? That's just like the match between Dexter and Lumis and Damian Priest. Seriously? Another face versus face? Come on, man. I mean, this North American Championship match was good, don't get me wrong. But I'm complaining for the simple fact that they booked a face versus face. Damian Priest and Dexter Lumis are both baby faces. It made no sense. Made no sense. So, anyways. Good match by Toni Storm. Good video package from her. This is the start of Toni Storm's first run on the NXT Women's roster. This is her first win since her in-ring return. This is her first win in her in-ring return. That's what I meant to say. Should have splat out what I said wrong, but oh well. Oh well. Anyways, backstage, William Regal is interviewed about the outcome of the Candice LeRae and Shotzi Blackheart match. Regal says that the result from that match will stand. He also confirms the match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez for Halloween Havoc. So apparently that was made official. I think I reread that. I misreread that. That was made official. But why was I not told that this match was made official? They didn't tell me that. My sources or my friends on Twitter didn't tell me that shit. I assumed this was for Halloween Havoc, but now we know. We know now. So don't worry about it. I know now. Because I did tweet on Twitter that I assume that Rhea Ripley versus Gonzalez is going to be. I'll be fucking damned. Head must have been spinning, man. I must have been thinking about something else at that time. I don't know, man. Anyways, Xia Li and Boa approach Wingo backstage. Lee tells him that she needs to compete and she is requesting a match for next week. Ringo says that he will take it into consideration. She implores him that she needs to compete, and he continues to say that he will take it into consideration before excusing himself into his office. Man, oh man, oh man. This is an indication that Xia Li is turning heel. She's definitely turning heel. Xia Li heel turn is coming. I'm telling you right now. Her heel turn is coming soon. This is an indication that WWE is still continuing working on her heel turn. But when is the day coming when she turns heel? When is that day coming? Is it going to be next week? The week after next? Next month? December? When? We need to know. We need to know. We need to see news. We need to see news on a possible heel turn for Xia Li. I'm guarantee you that news is coming sooner rather than later. But I already know WWE's working on her heel turn. Nobody's told me, and I know. And I have an idea how they're going to do it. They're probably going to do it with the return of Karen Q. And I think Karen Q is going to join Boa and Xia Li. You know who Karen Q is, right? One of the NXT Performance Center recruits. And I think she's the first ever Asian professional wrestler, if I'm mistaken. I think either the first ever Asian professional wrestler, or Japanese professional wrestler. One of the two. Or Chinese. One of the three. I think she's the first ever Asian professional wrestler, I think. Not sure. I have to look back and see. Anyways. Karen Q could be added to that. Karen Q could be added to that group. She's one of the WWE trainees. You all know who I'm talking about. Especially when I saw that retweet from Karen Q last month, retweeting Lacey Lane's retweet. Now, I thought she was going to tease joining, forming a bond with Xia Li. But I think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a new stable on NXT. It's going to be Xia Li, Boa, and Karen Q. Now, is WWE going to make the stable good? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see what Xia Li's heel turn leads to whenever that heel turn happens. So we got Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick, the team of Patrick and SpongeBob, because that's exactly what I think of them. Because that's exactly what they remind me of. Or should I say the team of Mario and Luigi. Oh man, I still can't get off of that, man. Anyways, Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick will take on Imperium right after this commercial break. Back from commercial, we head right into the next match. We got Imperium versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dain. A Luigi Drake Maverick, a Mario Killian Dain. Anyways, Dain decides to he decides to start the match for his team. And Fabian Aichner starts for his team. Dain and Aichner. That's his name, Aichner, excuse me. Dain and Aichner lock up. Dain hits a scope slam on Aichner. And Dain tags Maverick in. Dain tosses Maverick into Aichner. Dain takes down Aichner. And Maverick pins him for 2. Aichner, or should I say Aichner? I'm just playing. Aichner hits a scope slam on Maverick. Then tags in Barthel. Barthel? That's a better name. See, I can say that right more than I can say Aichner right. Barthel slaps Maverick and hits him with an elbow in the head. Barthel punches away at Maverick's head. The ref forces a break. Barthel tags in Aichner, and Dain tags in. Dain goes for a double German suplex, but Aichner takes down Dain. Dain hits a suplex. Aichner and Barthel and Maverick tags in. Maverick is able to take down Barthel and Aichner. Dain tries to get to the apron, but Barthel stops him and pushes him into the steel steps. Aichner uses the distraction to get to his feet. Maverick hits a diving crossbody onto Aichner, but Aichner catches him and slams it. In the ring, suddenly Everrise run down to the ring and attack Maverick. They taunt Maverick, but Dain runs out and hits them with a double clothesline. He gets in Maverick's face and says, "No one hits you but me." Dain storms off and Maverick follows him to the back. I'm suggesting that they are working on turning Dain face, because Dain is not acting like a face, he's acting like a heel. See, that's what I'm saying. Why do they have Drake Maverick and Killian Dain paired up? Because they don't have no plans for him. But still, why? What's the real reason why they haven't paired up? Besides that, what's the real reason why? We will never know. We will never know the real answer. Never know. Because WWE forgets about their superstars every week. To me, it seems like. Plus, they don't even use them right on TV. But anyways, I'm moving on. So, Dexter Lumis and Damian Priest are seen backstage walking towards the ring, getting ready for their match, which is up after a commercial break. So, back from a commercial break, we get a rundown of the women's matches at Halloween Havoc. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez, and Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Also, next week, Undisputed Era will take on Breezango for the NXT Tag Team Champions, which I knew all these matches were official for Halloween Havoc. I already knew that. I already tweeted out and said that I assumed that Rhea versus Gonzalez is going to be for Halloween Havoc. And damn, I was right. And I did say that Undisputed Era, and I did say that Breezango will have to defend their titles against Undisputed Era. I did say that on Twitter too. And I also said that Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai has been made official for the Halloween Havoc. I also said that before I started the review. I also said it before I went live with the review. Not started, but went live. That's what I'm trying to say. So I knew these matches were being booked for Halloween Havoc. I figured it out on my own. Anyways. So we got the North American Champion, the Arch Infinity, Damian Priest, versus the weird freak-looking Dexter Lumis. The brilliant, smart-looking Dexter Lumis with the best babyface character on NXT. Man, oh man, Dexter Lumis is doing great with his character, man. He really is. He's doing great. He's fucking great, man. Love it. Still love it. I can see why JD loves Dexter Lumis. I can see why JD said Dexter Lumis is fucking great. Because he really is. I've been watching them too, man. That guy's fucking great, man. He really is. WWE needs to keep Dexter Lumis the way he is, man. He looks great. I think he looks better. I think he's done better as a babyface than he did as a heel. That's what I think, in my opinion. Now, some of you clowns, I don't want to hear some of you clowns talking about, no, he did better as a heel, better than a babyface. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. And keep it moving. Simple as that. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that, oh, he did better as a heel than a babyface. Keep it moving. Yep. Shut your mouths. Keep it moving. I sound like The Rock and Elias when I said that. But I'm telling the truth. It's what I said in that video I tweeted on Twitter. I said in the video, if you don't think Big E's singles run is any good, then you are a homeless, geek-looking clown. It's not what I actually said, but I'm not going to tell you what I actually said. I did say geek clown, but I did say something after those two, which I'm not going to say. So anyways, this match between the North American Champion, Damian Priest, and Dexter Lumis for North American Championship, we got Lumis and Priest sizing up each other. They lock up and end up outside of the ropes. So then they break up the hold, and Priest seems unsettled. Lumis gets Priest in a side headlock, and my throat is dry once again. I'm going to have to get something to drink after this review. But Priest pushes Lumis off. Priest takes Lumis down with a shoulder tackle. But Lumis gets right back up. Lumis pushes Priest into the ropes. But Priest takes Lumis down with an arm drag. Lumis bars Priest's arm and pins head down. So he pins head down, basically. I hope that's making sense to some of y'all. It may not. Didn't make sense to me the way I said it. At least I'm admitting it. Lumis gets to his feet and pushes Priest into the corner. Priest whips Lumis into the corner. Lumis dumps Priest outside to the apron. Priest grabs Lumis' arm and walks to the top rope. Then hits a crossbody from the top rope. Priest takes Lumis down with an arm drag again. Priest rocks Lumis with a back elbow. Priest runs the ropes and Lumis catches Priest with a thus press. Priest kicks at Lumis' injured ankle and Lumis seems enraged. Priest takes the hint and goes right back at the leg and kicks Lumis in the head, taking him down. Then Priest hits Lumis with a broken arrow, pinning him for 2. Lumis rolls out of the ring as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Lumis hits Priest with an uppercut. Lumis then hits a bulldog onto Priest. Lumis charges at Priest, but Priest grabs Lumis by the throat. Priest goes for South of Heaven, but Lumis escapes and hits Priest with a spine buster, covering Priest for 2. Lumis stalks Priest and goes for the silence. But Priest pushes Lumis into the corner and lays into Lumis' head with an elbow. Priest hits Lumis with a roundhouse kick and a flatliner, pinning Lumis for 2. As Lumis kicks out, Priest picks the ankle and gets in an ankle lock. Lumis gets close to the ropes, but Priest drags Lumis back into the middle of the ring. Lumis pushes Priest off, but Priest hits Lumis with a belt clap and a kick to the head. Lumis hits a belly-to-belly suplex and a leg drop on Priest, pinning Priest for 2. Lumis goes to the top rope. He goes to the top rope. When he goes to the top rope, Lumis goes for a swanton bomb. When Priest rolls out of the way, Priest takes down Lumis with a clothesline. Priest goes for a roundhouse, but Lumis dodges. Lumis then hits Priest with the silence. But Priest hits. He gets up, he hits a leg to the bottom to break the hold. I guess, in other words, I'm trying to say he gets his leg to the bottom to break the hold. That's what I'm trying to say. If you all get what I'm saying here. Anyways, Priest rolls out of the ring, but Lumis chases, tossing Priest into the plexiglass. Lumis tosses Priest into the ring, and as the referee checks on Priest, the terrible accent, Mr. Terrible Accent, Cameron Grimes, comes out of nowhere and hits Lumis with a cave-in on the apron while the reference back is tuned. Priest, unaware of what happened, catches Lumis with a south of Hammond, pinning him for 3. So, that's basically what happened. That's basically it. That's basically it, folks. Oh, by the way, before I continue to go any further to reading to y'all what happened after this match, I just want to say, you know what Cameron Grimes reminds me of? This is Cameron Grimes right here. That's Cameron Grimes right there. Oh man, his accent is so fucking terrible, man. Oh yeah, this is also Cameron Grimes, by the way. That would also be Cameron Grimes in the ring. His terrible southern accent. Anyways, so Cameron Grimes gets in the ring and starts to head towards Dexter Lumis. Well, Priest catches him and hits him with the Reckoning. I think Priest finally figured out what happened. So then Priest says to Grimes, "Stay out of my business." Priest turns his back and starts to pose at the top of the ramp. But Johnny Gargano comes out of nowhere and hits Priest with a chair to the back. Gargano tosses the chair at Priest. Priest catches it, and Gargano hits a super kick into the chair, into Priest's face. Winring comes out and announces that both of the Garganos will get title shots against Io Shirai and Damian Priest respectfully. Rango tosses to Shotzi Blackheart, the host of Halloween Havoc, and she says that both of their matches will be held in stipulation decided by a wheel with spin the wheel, make a deal. Shotzi howls at Johnny and Candice. You know that. Oh, sorry, my throat is a little kinda, you know, messed up. If you know what I mean. Wait. No, not that one. Never mind. I don't have it. Anyways, Johnny and Candice were upset and confused as NXT went off air. So that was it for NXT. That was the show. So if you have any questions on this review, if you have any questions on what you want to ask me about the show, if you have any important questions, comment down the description below. Oh yeah, by the way, Shotzi Blackheart, back at you. Anyways, comment your thoughts on tonight's NXT. Comment if you comment down the section below if you enjoyed NXT or not, because I really want to know your comments. You know I want to see your comments. You know I want to know what you think of tonight's NXT. Also, comment if you enjoyed my review or not. If you haven't, leave a thumbs down. If you enjoyed my review, hit a like and comment. Folks, that is going to do it. Hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on that freaking bell for all notifications. to never miss a single upload, of course, of my England Wrestling News videos. I think I've already said that. I think I've covered all that. Follow me on Twitter. Remember, follow me on Twitter for the latest WWE, AEW, and pro wrestling news. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. Everything's happening to me tonight. I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyways, folks, your SmackDown review will be live this Friday night, right after my WWE SmackDown October the 16th, 2020 live stream, live reaction, because I will be live on YouTube giving you my live reaction to SmackDown. I'll be live while watching SmackDown, giving you my live reaction to the show. And then, SmackDown review will be live after that. And another announcement. I have an announcement to make. Tomorrow, I will be uploading 2 or 3 England Wrestling News videos. Probably this afternoon or the evening. It will probably be the evening. So, be having on those notifications. That's why I say turning on your notifications is very important. And don't miss my other content that I have on my channel. And I have another announcement to make. I could be going live this weekend playing some Call of Duty. Now, obviously, Call of Duty will begin this weekend. The Call of Duty Open Beta. That will begin this weekend. I can't wait for that. I'm hoping we don't have to have PlayStation Plus to do that, because if we do, I'm going to have to wait till next week to learn about PlayStation Plus, or maybe wait till 2 weeks. But hopefully, someday, me and JD will run into one another on this game and be on the same team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, folks, have yourselves a good day. See you live on YouTube for your WWE SmackDown October the 16th, 2020 live stream, live reactions. Folks, have a good rest of your Thursday. See you tomorrow, right back here for your Friday night SmackDown review. While we're at it, before I end this, let's continue to listen to this nice, amazing song by Styzmask. And then the broadcast will stop right after this nice, amazing, cool song. Alright, folks, see you right back here on your SmackDown review. See you right back here tomorrow for your SmackDown review.